In the meantime, today is National Vacation Day, meaning that it's time to plan your 2026 getaway. Author Brandon Blewett is joining us right now this morning with some helpful tips. Brandon, good to see you. Have you thawed out over there just yet?
I have not thought out quite yet. We still have ice outside, so I'm a little bit scared to take my car out. I've been Ubering with SUVs as I need to get around. So hopefully it's better where you are, but it definitely is giving me that itch to plan a vacation, either somewhere warm or where I can actually do things in the snow like ski.
Listen, you and me both. I think that's all we can think about right now is just someplace warm and warm thoughts. So when it comes to those who want to plan a vacation right now or just put that check mark on their bucket list, what are some common mistakes that you find people make in that planning process for their dream vacation?
One thing that I've noticed people do lately with all of the various websites that send out these super saver fares, people will jump on, hey, I'm going to book and I'm going to go to X location for 70% off, but they don't necessarily look at the windows of time that they're going to be at that destination. And you want to make sure that when you're going somewhere, you're spending all this time, you're spending all this money, that the attractions are going to be open, right? You don't want to get to a coastal town and find out that the restaurants are completely closed and any sites that you want to see are shuttered until the busy season. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't mean you need to book at the most expensive time, because that's going to be probably the most crowded, which is also problematic. But I would err on the side of looking to see the dates that are available for those deeply discounted fares to make sure it's not a wasted vacation.
You make such a good point right there. We're going to pop up some travel pics for me, because there were a few things that I had to make sure that when it came to planning, when I went to Paris, for instance, like the Louvre when I went was closed on Tuesdays. And then there was a restaurant that I wanted to go to that was booked for 3 months. And so these are things that you really have to take into consideration. You say that it's also important when you're thinking about planning your dream vacation to focus on your why. Why do you want to be there? So expand on that for me.
Right. Well, I think that when, say, you want to go to Paris, it's, do you want to just be able to sit and enjoy the architecture, or have you never been and you want to go see the Eiffel Tower? You want to go inside the Louvre, you want to go to Versailles. And the reason for understanding the why is that helps you plan not only your flights and your hotel situations, but in parallel, you need to be thinking about booking those tours, right? Like getting your Louvre tickets, getting your tickets to go up into the Eiffel Tower. And oftentimes, if you book ahead, you're not having to wait in really long lines when you get there, and you're going to get a discount because you've prepped and thought ahead.
Yeah, I kind of had to learn the hard way, my friend, but lessons were learned on that trip. Something else that you talk about is just not overpacking your days. I was quite ambitious a couple years ago and tried to do a whole Italy trip and then do a stopover in Iceland. And my husband and I managed to cram in 12 days in doing that. And we hit a few cities. We were exhausted, Brandon, exhausted. Yeah. So talk about why you completely advise, honestly, against what we were doing.
What I like to do is to put an Excel together and have AM and PM and only let myself plan, one, maybe two things in each quadrant, and give yourself time for lunch. I've seen so many folks, and especially when you're going to Europe, where you want to hit, 3 or 4 spots. And if you do so individually, I think what people forget to consider is, the time that you might be waiting to get into the attraction, because the itinerary may say how long it'll take to, get through a tour, but the time that you're waiting and then the time to get from one point to another, because while we may be on vacation when we're in these spots, other people are working and going about their day. So there's still like normal traffic patterns that you have to factor in. And there's nothing worse than feeling rushed and, you might miss your next tour. So I say, 1 to 2 is probably the max that you want to do, for each afternoon and morning, and maybe think about taking some time to breathe and actually enjoy the trip and the sights.
Oh, 1000%. Missed the tour in Venice, and that was just a headache trying to find the tour guide. So I couldn't agree with you more. And last but not least, when it comes to just that return trip, something kind of insane that I did. We went to Maldives, Thailand, and back to Italy, and then came home. And Brandon, I went to work the next day. I know it's insane.
Oh my gosh.
But you have some tips when it comes to returning home. So yeah, talk a little bit about that. And by the way, don't do that either, y'all. Just don't listen to me. That's how we have Brandon this morning.
I've done that as well. And sometimes it's forced, right? Especially if you're doing a long weekend, you're going to come back on a Sunday or a Monday and you have to go to work the next day. But if you're planning one of these long haul trips, I always try to get back either on a Friday or a Saturday. So that way, at minimum, I have a full day to unpack, recoup, and reset my clock. Because even if you manage to sleep and stay on some type of sleep schedule that keeps you regular, it's not the same. And having a full day or a day and a half at home, it's just a really good way to reset your biological clock to where you're a little less frustrated when you have to hit the ground and go back to the real world on, a Monday or whatever day it is.
Such great advice this morning, Brandon. Again, thank you so much. How can folks get more information and more great tips?
Absolutely. You can follow me on X. I'm Brandon in the Air. I'm also Brandon in the Air on Instagram. And then my website is brandonbluid.com.
All right. We appreciate you, my friend. Stay warm and indoors until they finish.
Yes, I will.
Towel you out outside. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going